Mario, you think he beats Mario's?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still, Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, Brady. Pacquiao another one that don't give losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right?
Chance every time you knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing.
It has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Manny Pacquiao's comeback at 46 has divided the boxing world. Floyd Mayweather called it a mistake, saying it risks damaging Pacquiao's legacy and is sad to witness at his age. Critics question his health and motivation, suggesting the fight is driven more by money than competition. Despite the concerns, Pacquiao remains determined. Rolando "Raleigh" Romero weighed in, saying it doesn't matter if Pacquiao beats Mario Barrios or not. He's already a legend who doesn't care about wins or losses anymore. Romero also expressed interest in facing Pacquiao next, adding more intrigue to the veteran's controversial return.
As Pacquiao at his age, which is sad that he has to fight.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Manny Pacquiao's legacy, saying the Filipino icon has nothing left to prove. He emphasized that Pacquiao's achievements speak for themselves and questioned the need for a comeback at this stage. While he admires Pacquiao, Jones believes returning to the ring isn't necessary.
Which fighter is actually smaller?
Rolly Pacquiao.
Mario, you think he beats Mario's?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still, Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, Brady. Pacquiao another one that don't give losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right? Bro, all that undefeated, that don't mean shit if you're not fighting over. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
Tim Bradley voiced doubts about Manny Pacquiao's comeback, suggesting it's driven more by financial need than a true passion for competition. He noted that comebacks often hint at money issues and questioned the motivation behind this return. Bradley also warned that Mario Barrios, being young and in his prime, could dominate the aging legend, potentially ending Pacquiao's career on a harsh note, raising serious concerns about the fight.
Fighter of the decade, 1990s. Passing on the torch to Manny Pacquiao, fighter for the 2000s.
Right?
Any advice tonight for him?
Just be smart. Don't get overly aggressive. Try to be smart with your aggression. Take your shots when you can, but don't go out there to just strictly knock him out. Just outbox him like you did last time. When you get chances, take chances every time you knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing. You have nothing to prove to him.
Any advice for any children and youth on the benefits of sports, not smoking in general? What would you say to them?
No smoking, no drinking, party lightly. Always keep your own mind. That's how I got to where I am now. I always keep my own mind. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs. Stay in your own mind. In your own mind, you can make your own choices and decisions the proper way. Give yourself the best chance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Combat analyst Ryan Campbell commented on Manny Pacquiao's surprising return, highlighting the rarity of a 46-year-old stepping in against a younger champion like Mario Barrios. He compared it to George Foreman's legendary comeback, noting that age can sometimes defy expectations. Campbell acknowledged the skepticism but reminded fans that boxing history has seen older fighters rekindle their former brilliance for one unforgettable night. In his view, the unpredictable nature of boxing always leaves the door open for miracles.
Yeah, getting back in the ring again for a world title.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One, two. I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, bigger fighter, knows how to, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. That Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrio.
Campbell further analyzed Manny Pacquiao's current condition, focusing on his physical tools. Though well past his prime, Pacquiao still displays a level of speed that rivals many average fighters today. While his explosive sharpness has faded, his agility and hand speed remain effective, particularly when compared to less refined boxers in the current welterweight division. Recent training footage has intensified the debate. In a short clip showing his pad work and movement, Pacquiao appeared focused and surprisingly quick. His punches came in rapid flurries, and his footwork revealed flashes of the familiar rhythm that once overwhelmed elite opponents. Campbell noted that, even at 46, Pacquiao's instincts and timing continue to demand
only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, he's going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this has been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion in Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. Just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Promoter Frank Warren and broadcaster Simon Jordan have strongly criticized Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring. Both see the decision to let a 45-year-old legend enter a high-stakes title fight as deeply questionable. Warren called the move disappointing and unnecessary, stressing that Pacquiao's legacy is already secure. Jordan echoed the concern, stating, "There's nothing left for Pacquiao to prove, and risking long-term damage for one last bout feels more like exploitation than respect."
Right? He hasn't fought in 4 years. What makes you think he's got a chance against the much younger, the 29-year-old Mario Barrios?
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure. But let's look at a couple of things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
They questioned the motives behind approving this fight, suggesting financial interests may be taking precedence over concern for Pacquiao's well-being. In their view, a legend of his caliber deserves to be honored in retirement, not thrust into a dangerous bout against a younger, fresher opponent. They emphasized that this isn't how a true icon should be treated and warned the decision could bring regret rather than...
When Frank speaks to it far more eloquently than I can, I think it's a disgraceful decision. I think it's an appalling decision. I mean, the WBC make lots of appalling decisions, and I'm not a big fan of them. But the fact of the matter is Pacquiao is a legend of the sport. I don't know why they want to do it, whether it's the fees that they get as a result of it or whether it's publicity. Boxing is in a brilliant position right now because of the Frank Warrens of the world and the relationship that he's developed over the last couple of years with the Saudis that's opened the door for everybody else. We're getting brilliant fights. We don't need to rehash somebody that's 46 years of age that didn't look great in his last fight, stick him in against a world champion who isn't a great world champion, but that's not the point. The optics of this, the reality of this, there's no necessity for it.
Others in the boxing community have been even more direct, calling the event a disservice to the sport. Comparisons have been made to spectacle bouts like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, but critics stress this fight is far more serious, as it involves a world title. They argue that sanctioning such mismatches threatens the integrity of professional boxing and blurs the line between sport and
entertainment. Besides the WBC doing it for, I think, illegitimate reasons.
Why? I mean, Frank, you know the sport insider. It seems to me, why does boxing always seem to allow for these kind of stories to manifest themselves?
Well, it's not boxing doing it; it's the governing body. I mean, it's their title, and they decide who can fight for their title. So that rests with the governing body. I mean, for me, George Foreman came back, but he came back at an old age, won the title at 50 years. He was 50 years of age when he fought. You know, you look at.
He didn't go straight to a world title fight, though, did he, Frank? He built up.
That's the point I was going to make. You know, you come in and you test the water. Go straight in for a world title fight. I don't see. I just don't go with that. I don't understand that. Yeah. And you know, and there are older guys who've managed over the years, although they've been active. For example, Bernard Hopkins, who's a great fighter, who fought well into his.
Not everyone is entirely against Pacquiao's return. Some believe he still has enough skill and instinct to deliver a competitive performance. However, others remain concerned, recalling his lackluster showing in his last fight 5 years ago. The divide highlights a broader uncertainty, whether this comeback is a genuine sporting effort or something more troubling. The mixed sentiment reflects deep confusion about what this fight truly stands for.
Mario Barrios to defend his belt against Manny Pacquiao. And about 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10 years ago, I would have said, hell's yeah, if we had a Manny Pacquiao championship fight. But Manny's been retired for 4 years. He's 46 years old. His last fight was in 2021, and he lost to Ugas in a unanimous decision. I watched his exhibition bout against the kickboxer guy in Japan. That didn't look good. This is a bad idea. A really bad idea. And again, I think people will look at this and go, well, Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson. And yeah, that happened. And I also said that Mike was going to get really badly hurt, and it was a terrible idea for him to do that. There were some health issues and everything else. Luckily, Mike didn't get super hurt in the fight, but this is a world championship level fight against a sitting world champion, and Manny does not belong in there. And again, I'm worried that he's going to get hurt badly for the same reasons. What I mean, the breakdown. Let's go. Let's just start here. Manny Pacquiao, again, I just went over it. 46 years old. Been retired 4 years, lost his last fight. He beat Keith Thurman before that, but that was 2019. So it's been a while. This is not me discounting who I think is one of the greatest boxers ever and has an argument to be the greatest ever because what did he won world championships in how many different divisions? 8, 9, something crazy like that. There'll never be anybody like Manny Pacquiao. But let's just look at it and throw away your bias or throw away your fandom of Manny Pacquiao because, of course, there's going to be a ton of people that watch this. And fair play, right, to those people that want to watch this. They want to see their guy go out and try to give it his all one more time. And Mario Barrios didn't look super spectacular when he was on the Netflix card, the Jake and Mike card, and he got dropped.
WBC President Mauricio Suleiman officially confirmed the fight and defended the decision to grant Manny Pacquiao a shot at the welterweight title. He praised the Filipino legend's continued dedication to boxing, stating that Pacquiao aims to retire once more, this time as a champion. While Suleiman acknowledged the risks involved, he emphasized that the bout represents history in the making for a once-in-a-generation athlete.
Against Mario Barrios fight is signed, done for July of 2025. Pacquiao is 46 years old. We haven't seen him in the ring in years. Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Keith Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine.
If Pacquiao wants to come back as a Hall of Famer and fight one more time, whatever. He didn't look good against Yordenis Ugas, and that was 5 years ago. We've seen him in these exhibitions looking fleshy, to say the least. It's meaningless because if Barrios wins, he's never going to fight a Boots Ennis. If Pacquiao wins, he's not going to fight anybody ever again. So I'm kind of indifferent to the whole thing.
Trainer Greg Hackett offered a brutally honest assessment of Pacquiao's comeback. He admitted that a few years ago, Pacquiao would have easily outclassed Mario Barrios. However, Hackett now sees a fighter who has lost much of his elite edge. He described Pacquiao as slower, less durable, and lacking the hunger that defined his prime. For Hackett, this isn't a true battle of greats, but rather a financial event disguised as a legitimate title fight.
WBC President Mauricio Sullivan has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins, 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09, Ricky Hatton, all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I asked myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is a current champion, who's the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Sullivan, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion, so who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have to make that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen.
The news of Manny Pacquiao's comeback was met with widespread disbelief. After retiring in 2021 and remaining inactive for years, few expected such a bold return. The sudden announcement stirred mixed emotions, with fans feeling both excitement and unease. While the WBC has approved all necessary steps for the fight, many continue to question whether this moment will enhance or damage Pacquiao's lasting legacy. Mario Barrios and his team, however, are taking the fight very seriously. Despite facing a legend well past his prime, Barrios' coach stated they are preparing as if they're facing the younger Pacquiao, the one who dominated boxing's elite. They refuse to underestimate Manny's ring IQ or work ethic and insist Barrios is ready for anything.
But Pacquiao, not Pacquiao. It's tough to go against him in a situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might try to beat Pacquiao. I mean, not knock him out, but beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas fight?
Yeah. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with bang, so why not? If he can make it happen, because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I would love to. And that's a fight you gotta get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for. But the reality is, Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight. But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boots, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. I mean, because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money, and you want to do great things.
they presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, you know what, I'll fight now for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division, and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Petirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's Pacquiao Spence, if that's a unification with Boots Ennis. That'll be up to them. But I do know one thing about Mario Barrios.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and exciting content next time.